Ladies and gentlemen, we're always taking it a notch higher through informative and intellectual debates. Over 500 schools, 12 regions. Who will be the next great debater? I am your host, Chris Boru.
And I am Esperanza Kapanga. And today, the motion features an epic battle of the sexes. Or should I say, friendly competition. It states, women and men must fight alongside each other for political seats.
While proposing this motion, we have Graceland Girls High School.
And opposing the motion, we have Tumutumu Girls High School. Proposer number 1, you have 3 minutes.
What can compare to the strength of a woman? She is the cornerstone on which society is built, and yet we constantly regard her as a minority, placing her alongside children and people with disabilities. What should we do to prove that she can match a man's ability and even do better without assistance, without favors, and without any head start? I, Cecily Miano, a proud feminist from the land of grace, ferociously propose this motion that states, women and men must compete alongside each other for political positions. Now, in accordance with the 9th edition of the Oxford Dictionary, a man is a male adult human, whereas a woman is a female adult human. Compete alongside means to strive to gain or win something by establishing superiority over another. Political positions are authoritative seats in a country or a state that are attained by winning an election. In simpler terms, the motion will state that the playing field for attaining political positions should be leveled for both men and women. I, like many other people, would obviously love to see both genders represented in Parliament, but the mechanisms that are in place are what I don't agree with. Take, for example, Denmark, which no parties in the country have implemented any gender law quotas, and as you can see, the women representation in the Denmark Parliament is 31.37% in comparison to Kenya's 21% of women in Parliament. Mind you, in Kenya, the gender law quotas have been implemented. Women and men over the years have competed alongside each other for political positions, and women have managed to become victorious. Take, for instance, Joyce Banda, the former Malawian president, and Ellen Johnson, the former Prime Minister to Liberia. Opposing this motion is taking us back to the dark ages where a woman was considered weak and incapable of wielding political power without male assistance.
First proposer, you have 3 minutes to make a statement.
Today is really a beautiful day when I have my fellow sisters supporting me. Indeed, strength of a woman, right? According to me, democracy, a better democracy, is a democracy where women are not only given the voting right, but also a right to be elected. Mosoti Mora, from a school upon the hilltop, Tumutumu Girls High School, opposing the motion, women and men must compete alongside each other for political position. Well, according to my Oxford Dictionary, competing is to try to be more successful than the other. Political positions are the seats, this relates to the seats that how parliamentary power is achieved and used in our state. Well, alongside, I'll just give you a general perception. The Kenyan way, bumper to bumper, equal. But really, can men and women be equal? I really do not think so. According to the BBC News, Hillary Clinton, 2016 presidential votes in United States of America, 54% voted for Clinton. That is 18 to 19 years. They still voted for Clinton. 36% voted for Donald Trump. When coming to the 40 to 69 years, 40% voted for Clinton, 20% voted for Trump. It is a clear indication that the generation that is upcoming is really understanding that women can be leaders. Given the fact that she did not become the president, still a fact remains that she won the population vote. Yes, she did win it because a woman, a strength of a woman, it's just something that we cannot suppress. While women are multitaskers. We have an MP in Narok, 2013 general elections. Yet she was heavy, but still found the courage to take that seat. All she did was campaign, maybe better than even the men. She campaigned. Most people discouraged her. But apart from having a family to raise, kids to raise, very many responsibilities, she still outstood the rest. She won the election. This means that a woman can multitask things. It is clear that even our mothers at home tell us men are not one of the good multitaskers. Well, women are risk takers. Park Yen-hoon. She's the 11th president of South Korea. The 10 presidents that were there, compared to her, the development that she made is very incredible. It cannot be compared to. She still stands to be the pillar, the mother of economy in South Korea. Seriously, she signed many treaties, Benin treaties, that she did not even know whether they will profit the country. But she stood up. She was a risk taker. We all learn about entrepreneurship. You must be a risk taker. She took the risk, signed all those documents, but still the profits came back to South Korea. Seriously, ladies and gentlemen, it's time we realize that women are the strength of the nation. I rest my case.
Second proposer, you have 3 minutes for cross-examination.
In the vast savannah of Kenya, a lioness stands. It poses, eyes focused on its prey, waiting for just the right time. Then, when it is least expected, she lunges forward and pounces on the antelope. Now, without any assistance, the lioness is able to bring down an antelope. You can see the pride in her gait as she walks. She knows she is queen. Now, if an animal, the lioness, is able to play in a level political field, why do we always give women an advantage when it comes to politics? I am glad that the opposers have given examples of political positions that require men and women to compete alongside each other. MPs and presidents, and the women emerged victorious. Such is the strength of the female species. Now, according to a research carried out by the National Gender and Equality Commission, 92% of the respondents felt that the boy child was lagging behind because too much focus had been put on the girl child. Now, one woman in Embu even went ahead and said, we have put too much focus on the girl child that the boy child has been reduced to an avocado. Now, shall we always keep alternating between uplifting the girl child, then now we need to uplift the boy child? No, let us give them equal opportunities. Let them compete alongside each other. Now, another point mentioned by the opposition is that giving women an advantage is democracy. But yet, what is democracy? Democracy also includes people voting for whomever they want. Now, allowing men and women to compete alongside each other will help us realize the full potential of democracy, in that people will vote for whomever they want without regarding the gender. They won't vote so as to adhere to a certain law that says, oh, this percentage of the parliament should come from this gender. Instead, they will vote for their first preference. Also, as we have given an example in Denmark, 31.7% of their parliament is made up of women. This shows that a woman is strong, and I believe that any gender, if they are passionate enough, if they are qualified enough, then they will be able to overcome all the challenges that they face and be able to compete alongside each other for political positions. Hence, we will be able to create a balance between men and women in the politics of Kenya.
Second opposer, you have 3 minutes for rebuttal.
They say, if you want something said, tell a man. If you want something done, tell a woman. I bet we all want an action-packed government, not just a verbal-packed government. Ainganga AC, from a far away from home school, Tumutumu Girls High School, strongly opposing the motion that states men and women should fight alongside each other for political positions. Last night, I learned of a very brilliant fact about an aeroplane. If I'll ask you whether you love it when an aeroplane is on the ground or when it's on air, you'll prefer it on the ground. But guess what? On the ground, it will rust and malfunction. Liberia was such a country, an aeroplane on the ground. When Charles Taylor and Moses Blair were on post, they brought about dictatorship. They brought about economic crises. But I'm telling you, SDG number 1, no poverty. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the first female president of Liberia, decided no more dictatorship, but more democracy. No more economic crisis, but more of economic prosperity. Don't you love this aspect about the women? Should they be equal? I don't think so. So let's go to an iron lady, Margaret Thatcher. She was the first female prime minister of Britain. She had a bedbug mentality. She was persistent. She was goal-oriented. That is what a woman is. She's persistent, she's goal-oriented, and she's a key pillar in development. Margaret Thatcher started her journey back in 1950 after she was out of her college. According to the World News, she started from 1950 for the Danford seat to 1959 to 1961 when she had to fight for the Secretary for Pensions and Insurance. And guess what? All that time she hadn't won it, but she still had a goal to develop Britain, a goal to be the better, to bring the better part of Britain. And in 1970, she got to be appointed the cabinet for education and technology. That was just a stepping block. And in 1974, she became the chairlady of the Conservative Party, a very prominent party, by the way, in Britain. I bet you all know that. Then in 1979, she became the widely known Iron Lady, the first Prime Minister of Britain. I have a question. Don't you love this personality about a woman? Don't you think we will just abolish this fact about equal parties, equal floor for everyone? No, I don't think it should be like that. Let us fight for a woman being the one to be given these political positions. She's good, she is a key developer, and she is goal-oriented. And guess what? She is persistent. Personally, Nganga Wanjiru, I really want an action-packed government, not a verbal government. Sayonara, my learned friends.
For the question session, the proposers have been asked, after stating the strength of a woman, and they implying that there should be an elevation of the woman over the man, they should clarify that point. The opposers have been asked, if women can multitask, then are they implying that men are totally useless in the political positions? Proposer number 3, you have 3 minutes to answer the question.
Saying that we supported this, saying the strength of a woman, relating that we are supporting the woman, not the man. It has been regarded that the women are weaker than the men, but we say that the women are as strong as the men. That is what we meant when we say that strength of a woman. Breaking news, Joyce Laboso wins against the political giant, Isaac Ruto, in the competition for the governor's seat in Bomet. These were the headlines in 2017. Well, I am Cynthia Muthoni from the Graceland Girls, the land of grace, proposing this motion that states women and men must compete alongside each other for political positions. I support Mfunzile Mlambo when she said women have successfully built and ran countries, cities, institutions, and economies. And she said that this is enough proof. This is a strong proof that women can be represented in leadership. And it is also basing it that having women in leadership, and we say that women are as strong as men, they definitely need to be given level grounds for them to compete. On to Hill Cove when he said, if we want parliament to be a truly legitimate institution, we must base it on gender equality. Gender equality. Both men and women, they must compete against each other for these political seats. And my fellow debaters, when you said women have the strength, women are persistent, thank you. Because when you say that women have the strength and they are persistent, you tell us that the women have the ability to also compete with the men in political positions. I rest my case.
Third opposer, you have 3 minutes to respond to your question.
To the question that was asked, please, my friend, don't put words in our friend's mouth. She said that women are multitaskers. What she meant by women are multitaskers, not that men are useless. What she meant is that women can diversify in many things, but men have the gift of only focusing on one main thing. A leader, a title, or a seat does not define someone. What legacy that person leaves behind is what defines that person. Women, so far, we have seen the likes of Wangari Maathai, we have seen the likes of many women who have made a legacy. They have made things happen compared to the way men have made things happen. So, do you want to see our nation having a lot of things happening? Do you want to see our continent going to many far things? Who should we place in the highest position? A woman. Okay, in parliament, most of the women members of parliament, they major on community help services, and men do not major on that part. But now the positions that are being given to women, there are very few positions. So if you want that, the women they have the work of doing community help, they have the work of dealing with the work of being members of parliament, and we should increase the number of women so that they can have a better opportunity to diversify in that work. On to my second point, women are communists, whereas men are capitalists. When men are given that opportunity to be in the seat in their seats that they are in, we see that many of them do not take that opportunity to help the people. They do not take that opportunity to build more on the people. For example, when Moi was the president, we saw that when he was in that seat, he made most of the public companies to be privatized. He made them so that they can come and benefit him. But let's see an example of Josephine Laneu. Josephine Laneu was the Samburu MP. When she was the MP, she ensured that she led to the creation of the Samburu Girls High School. That school, even though she did not do it with her own money, she did it with the money that she was given. She did not do it with the money that was given by the government. She did it with her own money. Women are better decision makers. For example, when Mother Karua was the Minister for Water, we see that she ensured that there was good connection of water to different places of the country. But then, let's see, for example, the current USA President, Donald Trump. When he is the president right now, we're seeing that USA is having a lot of conflicts with other countries. We're seeing that USA is having, for example, Korea now, they're planning to fight with the USA because most of the decisions that he makes, the decisions that are making the good relationship that they had with other countries become demolished. I rest my case.
Proposition, you have 1 minute to make a final statement.
I am deeply indebted to the opposers, for it is like they have done our research for us by citing examples of where women competed alongside men and emerged victorious. Hence, we should compete alongside men to emerge victorious. Now, in George Orwell's novel, The Animal Farm, in the beginning of the book, there is a rule that says all animals are equal. However, towards the end of the book, the rule states all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. This is the situation in Kenya when it comes to gender, where girls have been equalized too much that they have become more equal than men. However, there is a new sheriff in town. There is a new sheriff in town, and her name is Miss Independent, and an example is the one standing in front of you, Wangeshi Ng'ang'a. Now, this independent woman, she is strong, she is powerful, and she has the ability to compete alongside men.
Opposition, you have 1 minute for final submission.
The new sheriff in town. Well, a lioness. Ladies and gentlemen, men and women must compete alongside each other for political position. That is our motion. I tend to believe we are arguing, but still, our Graceland sisters are helping us in deciding that women have an upper hand. In the politics, what are we arguing about? We are supposed to show how women should be given an upper per. Sustainable Development Goals, number 5, gender equality. 5.1, to be specific, the discrimination of women and girls must be eradicated. That is what we are showing here, that women must have an upper hand in the political position. Well, I leave you by a quote saying, a woman will run at a galloping horse and enter a burning hut just to save her loved ones. Mosoti Mora, rest my case.
The two teams have fought very, very well. In fact, I would have wished the time was longer. I would have continued to listen to them. So all the speakers from both sides were very good, very eloquent, a lot of confidence and mastery of the language. SC, to me, you stood out as a fiery speaker, and I hope you are hoping to become a politician sometime. All the best to the teams.
Wow, I am impressed. I am impressed at the creativity. I mean, Tumutumu girls, why did you choose to go the direction of women? I don't know. Is it because we were just asking ourselves here as judges, and that was creative. I mean, you can decide to go one direction. Graceland as well, I mean, that was amazing, that we are all at par. We were impressed. That goes home even after the results. Just get to know that we were impressed by the levels of research.
The ladies have told us, if you want something said, tell it to a man. If you want something done, tell it to a woman. And they've done it definitely today. So to the numbers. Graceland Girls High School, the Lionesses. The judges awarded you 71.5. Let us appreciate them. Tumutumu Girls High School, 1%. Very close to Graceland. The judges awarded you 72.5%. Congratulations to the ladies from both schools. That was an amazing debate we've had today.
Thank you to both teams for giving us a heated debate, just the way we like it on the Great Debaters Contest. Remember, losing a battle just helps you find another way of winning the war. We'd like to appreciate our sponsors, Blazed by Safaricom, Brand Kenya Board, for making all this possible, as we cut across every region in the country to reach over 500 schools, as we give them the platform to debate.
We keep the conversations going on all our social media platforms, #GDC for SDGs. I have been your host, Esperanza Kapanga.
And I am Chris Boru. Until next time, stay tuned.